Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified. Coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, The Appeal Process. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so as you all know, this video is going for the brothers that received the order from the court that are appealable orders. Not all orders are appealable orders. Only certain orders are appealable orders. In order for an order to be an appealable order, it must be a final order, meaning that the court cannot make any more rulings on the issue at all. Okay, it ends the case. So basically, let's say your child's mom brings you to court, with the state, or basically the state brings you to court on behalf of the child or on behalf of the child's mom. Okay, so the state receives a ruling in its favor stating that you will be the obligor and you're obligated to pay $1,000 a month for the child. Okay, now once the judge make a ruling that you are the obligor and you have to pay this $1,000 a month, that's a final order. There's nothing else to be done. The order is final. So you can appeal that order. But let's say you get mad, so you want to file a lawsuit. You file a lawsuit against the state. The state do not respond back. So you file a motion for default. Okay? The judge denied your motion for default. And then so you say, okay, I'm going to file an appeal. That appeal will be thrown out because that an order for default or a motion for denial of default is not a final order. Okay, so you can only file an appeal on final orders. Anything else that's not a final order, you must file a writ. Okay, so but we'll go over that another day. Right now, I just want to keep it on the brothers that go into court, fighting, and then they get railroaded in the end, and the judge still rule against them. Okay, so my Ark in this situation, he went to court without my help. Okay, his first time in court, he went to court without my help, but he stood on the square. So the judge ruled against him and ruled in favor of the state. Okay, like I tell you all, it's the state that's bringing you to court. 9 times out of 10, it's the state that's the claimant. Okay, not the child's mom. The child's mom signed their rights over for the state, so the state is the header, and the state is collecting. Either the state or its agencies or the county is collecting on behalf of the state or on behalf of your child's mom or on behalf of the child. Okay, so my Ark went to court. It didn't go in his favor, so he reached out to him and said, Ark, I went in there, I did everything, but the judge still ruled against me, so I need your help on the appeal. I said, okay, Ark, I got you. So he sent the gift, and I helped him in his appeal. Okay, so that's where we at. Like I stated, he went in there the first time on his own, but then he came to me for the appeal. All right, there's a lot of people who will not assist you guys with the appeal process because the appeal process is way harder than just going into the court and the lower, in these lower courts or in these family courts. The appeal court requires an appeal brief, and an appendix to support that brief in most states. Some states don't require an appendix. They require other things to be attached to the brief. But majority of the states require an appendix. Okay, so my Ark, he asked me what to do next. I told him, okay, automatically apply for the transcripts. He got the transcript, and I told him that after that, file a notice of appeal into the family court, which he did. He filed a notice of appeal and got the transcripts in the family court. Then after he did that, the appeals court received his paperwork and his notice of appeal, and they sent him a letter stating what he needed to do in that appeal. And when he should have his brief and appendix filed. So we did that. We followed the rules and everything. Okay, so our first, we had to send a brief back about 2 or 3 times. So we sent the brief in the first time. They sent his appeal brief back and appendix back for minor reasons, such as the statement of facts got to be different from, let's say, arguments. Different reasons. Even though we had them labeled separately in the table of contents, they wanted to see it actually separated, and you couldn't argue them both the same in the same paragraph. They were just giving them a hard time because the argument that we placed before the court. Okay, so then they'll send it back with something else saying, okay, well, you have to separate the page numbers, or you didn't write the page numbers on the appendix and stuff. Just all types of other nonsense they were sending back for. Okay, hoping that he did not fix his corrections in 10 days. Because if they send you a appeal back, if they send you a appeal brief back, you have like 10 or 11 days to fix the corrections. If you do not fix your corrections in 10 or 11 days, then they will send your appeal brief back and you will automatically lose your appeal. Okay, so those are the games that they play also. But we perfected the appeal and they sent him this document right here. So for my brothers again that's going through the appeal, once you perfect your appeal brief, they will send you this document, okay? And I just want to show you all that, this is not easy work. This is a fight worth fighting, okay? People go to court fighting, they put their lives on the line, they put their selves on the line, they put their freedom on the line, okay? Yes, it's a chance that you can get arrested when you're going into these courts fighting, but that's a part of the fight. If you're not willing to get arrested, then don't fight. When I did my fight, I was willing to get arrested. Okay, if I would have got arrested, hey, that would have been me. I would have got arrested. But no, I stood on my square, I stayed on the topic, and I won. Some people go to court, they don't stay on topic, and they lose. They start arguing the facts when the facts are on the moon. Stop arguing in these courts. There is nothing to argue about. Okay, I can't stress that enough. How can you argue with a fictitious entity that's bringing you to court claiming that you owe a debt? It's just that simple. The county don't exist. The state don't exist. None of them exist. But they're claiming that you owe the debt. If you go in there giving them any slight argument or disagreement, then you automatically become a part of the argument. You are adding to the controversy. Once you add to the controversy, then you gave them body attachment or joinder, then they will put you in jail. That's it. If you don't add on to the controversy, don't add and don't give them joinder, because the court only has jurisdiction over controversy. Remove the controversy, the court loses subject matter jurisdiction. Okay? Don't go in there claiming to be something that you're not, and the court loses personam jurisdiction. Okay? You can remove 2 of the 3 right there. You just have to stay focused. Alright? So we're going to go over this document right here that Ma'ak received, from the appellate division, because they accepted his appeal brief. So let's go over it. This say filed, clerk of the appellate division, September the blank 2019 with the case number. I crossed all this personal information out because we're still fighting in this appeals court. Okay, we haven't got a ruling yet, but I just want to share with you guys that, you have to be ready even in the appeal stages. Like you have to be willing to take it up to the next level when you're fighting these people. Don't just quit. Don't just give up. Don't just stop. Okay? But let's continue. It states Superior Court of New Jersey, Appellate Division, docket number blank. Then it states Hudson County Department of Family Service on behalf of who? The child's mom. I crossed her name out. So again, who's bringing the claim? Hudson County Department of Family Services is bringing the claim. I need to speak to Mr. or Mrs. Hudson County Department of Family Services since they bringing the claim. Don't go in there arguing about something or to something that don't exist. Okay? Remove the controversy, remove subject matter, remove personam jurisdiction. Stay focused, guys. When y'all in these courts, stay focused, okay? But also, they are versing Ma'ak that sent the gift. Okay, like I stated, he went in the lower courts or in the family court on his own. He didn't come to me for assistance, but he came to me for assistance on the appeal. Okay, but let's continue. It says amended scheduling order. Why do it say amended scheduling order? Because, like I stated before, we had to send the appeal back at least 2 or 3 times because they kept sending it back to us, stating that there are certain corrections that had to be made, even though it's already made. They send it right back to us, telling us we had to do it again. So we'll do it again. Send it right back to them, and they'll say, okay, now you got to change this. Okay, we send it back to them, change it. Oh, now you got to change this. Like, why y'all not telling us to do it all at once? They like, oh, well, you didn't put a page number at the bottom of the appeal. Well, excuse me, at the bottom of the appendix. You didn't label your appendix all the way or something like that. Just a bunch of nonsense. Like, they couldn't put it together. Like, it's already, everything is in order already. They were just trying to give my a hard time because the argument that we were arguing into the court. But we got it in. They had to accept it because we did everything that was needed to be done. Okay, so now let's read it. It says an appeal having been filed in the above matter, which is my appeal. His appeal brief and his appendix was already filed. But let's continue. It is hereby ordered that the time for filing and serving briefs and appendices shall not be later than as follows. A. Brief. Then it says respondent brief and appendix. Due date October 3rd, 2019, Hudson County Council, Catherine Haley. Okay, so now that let you know that the county or the council for the county have to send a responsive brief and appendix to my OC brief and appendix that we filed to the court. And they have until October the 3rd to do so. Okay? And then if they do file one by October the 3rd, then my OC, which he will come to me, send me their response, then we will send a reply brief to their response that have to be due on October the 14th, 2019, which is 11 days after that. Okay? You don't have to actually send a responsive brief back after they responded to your brief, only if you want to rebut a few things. But if they haven't rebutted anything in your brief, then there's no need to respond back to their brief. Okay? But let's continue. And as you see, I crossed my ARC name out. So he will have to file his brief after they send their responsive brief and appendix to my ARC. But, you know, I don't think they're going to respond back. For the simple fact of the matter is, the questions that we asked and the way that we drafted the appendix and the appeal brief. But let's continue. It states, it is further ordered that 3 paper copies of each brief and appendix shall be filed with the clerk once the brief and appendix have been approved for filing. So again, the appeals court has to approve the appendix and the brief. Okay, if the brief is not to standard, or if they see any type of minor mistake, they will send you the brief back to correct that mistake. And if you don't correct that mistake within 10 days, then you will lose your right to the appeal. But let's continue. It states, along with 3 copies of all filed transcripts and any exhibits. And it is further ordered that in the event of default by the appellant regarding any provisions of this order, the appeal would be subject to dismissal without further notice. You see what I mean? So they will dismiss your case if you do not do everything to a T. So you must follow the rules of civil procedures when dealing with the appeals case, okay? But let's continue. It is further ordered that if any respondent fails to file a brief within the time directed by this order, such respondent will be subject to the preclusions from further participation in the appeal. So again, if they, which is the county, which is Hudson County, right? What is it? It's Hudson County. If the counsel for Hudson County do not respond back by October the 3rd, 2019, then she loses her right to argue in the appeals court. Okay, to argue against my OX appeal brief and appendix. Okay, which I don't think she's going to respond back. But even if she do, then we'll send a reply brief. Okay, but let's continue. And that was basically stating that the honorable judge signed for it and everything, and it was done on September 2019. So, you know, for the brothers out here fighting, it's not a one-stop shop. It's not a one-hitter quitter. You know, sometimes it is. Majority of the times it's not. Like I tell y'all, it's a fight worth fighting. You got to be willing to go through the entire fight. Okay? You got to be willing. Okay? Let's say if he loses appeals case right here, guess what he's going to do? He's going to appeal to a higher court. Okay? But he has a good chance. He stayed on topic through the whole time. That's why I can help him with his appeal brief, because he's actually staying on topic with some of the things he learned in my videos. So we're going to keep this fight going. I just wanted to share this all with you brothers, because like I tell you all, everybody's not willing to put in that work to even take you all to the appeals court for you all can get remedy as well, even if it don't work for you in the lower courts. So that's all I'm going to do for today. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. Like, share, and subscribe. Study. Don't forget to hit the notification bell at the bottom so you all can get notifications of when I provide